Most people chase exciting industries, AI, crypto, startups, tech stocks. But what if the real money is not made in excitement, but in boredom? Because the industries nobody talks about are often the ones quietly printing the most consistent wealth. So here's the question. Why do boring industries keep winning, while hype industries keep collapsing? Everywhere you look, attention goes to fast-moving sectors, new technology, viral companies, rapid growth stories. But behind the scenes, something very different is happening. Insurance, utilities, water supply, waste management, logistics, basic infrastructure. They don't go viral, they don't trend on social media, they don't create hype cycles every week. But they operate every single day, regardless of market conditions. And here's the problem. Most investors confuse attention with value. So the question becomes, if boring industries are so uninteresting, why do they rarely disappear, even during recessions? Because the truth is, the world cannot pause boring industries. Now think deeper. Why do exciting industries rise fast and fall faster? And why do boring industries feel slow but survive every crisis? Because stability doesn't need attention, it needs consistency. So here's the real question. Is growth more important than survival, or is survival the real foundation of long-term wealth? When markets crash, people don't ask for innovation, they ask for electricity, they ask for logistics. They ask for insurance coverage, they ask for basic systems to keep running, and those systems, are rarely exciting, but they are always needed. Now, let's break down why this happens. First, predictable demand creates stable revenue. Boring industries don't depend on hype cycles. What happens when demand never really disappears? Revenue becomes predictable. People always need water, energy, transport, and basic services, no matter what the economy is doing. Second, low competition in emotional investing. Most investors avoid boring sectors. Why does that matter? Because less attention often means less speculation, and less speculation can mean more stable pricing over time. Third, long-term contracts and stability. Many boring industries operate on long contracts, utilities, infrastructure, logistics. What does a long contract actually create? Predictable cash flow over years, sometimes decades, which reduces uncertainty in business planning. Fourth, essential demand versus optional demand. Exciting industries often depend on trends. Boring industries depend on necessity. What happens when a product is optional versus essential? Optional demand disappears in crises. Essential demand continues regardless of conditions. Fifth, the hidden irony of investing. The more exciting an industry looks, the more unstable it often becomes. And the more boring it looks, the more consistent it often behaves. So why do investors keep chasing excitement over stability? Because attention feels like opportunity, even when stability is quietly doing the real work. So what's the real lesson here? It's not about avoiding exciting industries, it's about understanding balance. Exciting industries create growth narratives. Boring industries create stability foundations. One drives headlines, the other drives long-term survival. So the fix is simple. Don't ask what is exciting, ask what is essential. Because essential industries don't need attention to survive. They just need the world to keep functioning, and the world always does. So here's the final question. If boring industries generate the most consistent wealth, why do most investors still chase excitement instead of stability? Is it strategy or just human psychology? Think about that. Subscribe to Wealth Insure Lab for more updates. See you in the next video. Disclaimer, this content is for educational purposes only, not financial or investment advice.